What if I told you that right now, at this very second, everything you see, everything you touch, and even every thought in your mind could be part of an unimaginably complex simulation? Not a movie, not a video game, but a fully rendered universe where stars burn, galaxies collide, and conscious beings wonder about their own existence. Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that reality itself has a loading bar hidden just beyond your perception. Sounds like science fiction, right? But some of the world's most respected scientists and philosophers are asking a question that feels both thrilling and terrifying. Are we living in a simulation? Welcome to Cosmic Horizon Hub, and today we're diving deep into one of the most mind-bending ideas ever proposed, an idea that challenges reality at its very foundation. The simulation hypothesis suggests that what we call the universe may not be the base reality, but rather a constructed digital environment created by an advanced intelligence. At first glance, this sounds like something straight out of the Matrix, but the roots of this idea lie not in Hollywood, but in serious scientific reasoning. To understand why this idea is taken seriously, we need to zoom out and look at the trajectory of technology. Just a few decades ago, video games were simple dots moving across a screen. Today, we have hyper-realistic graphics, virtual reality headsets, and artificial intelligence that can learn, adapt, and even create. Now imagine this trend continuing for thousands or millions of years. If a civilization survives long enough, it could potentially simulate entire worlds, complete with conscious beings inside them. Here's where it gets unsettling. If it is possible to create simulated universes, then statistically speaking, there could be far more simulated realities than real, base realities. And if that's true, the odds that we are living in the original universe start to look surprisingly small. Philosopher Nick Bostrom formalized this idea with a famous argument. He proposed that at least one of three things must be true. First, almost all civilizations go extinct before reaching the technological level needed to run realistic simulations. Second, advanced civilizations choose not to run simulations of conscious beings. Or third, we are almost certainly living in a simulation. There is no comfortable option here. Either intelligent life rarely survives, or advanced beings deliberately avoid simulating minds, or we are inside a simulated world right now. That alone is enough to make anyone pause. But the idea doesn't stop there. Some physicists argue that the universe itself behaves like a computational system. At the smallest scales of reality, space and time appear quantized, like pixels on a screen. There is a smallest measurable length, known as the Planck length, beyond which space cannot be divided. Think of it as the resolution limit of the universe. Just like a video game world stops being smooth when you zoom in too far, reality itself becomes grainy at extreme scales. Is this simply how nature works, or is it a clue that we're inside a rendered environment? Then there's the speed of light, the universal speed limit. No matter how much energy you use, nothing can travel faster. In computational terms, this looks suspiciously like a maximum processing speed, a cap placed on how fast information can move through the system. In video games, developers impose limits to keep the simulation stable. In our universe, the speed of light might serve a similar role, coincidence, or design. Another strange detail lies in the mathematical elegance of the universe. The laws of physics can be described with remarkably clean equations. Reality runs on math. From gravity to quantum mechanics, everything obeys precise rules. It's almost as if the universe was written in code. Some scientists have even suggested that at the deepest level, reality is information. Not matter, not energy, but bits, ones and zeros. And if reality is information, then the idea that it could be computed doesn't sound so far-fetched. Now let's add consciousness to the mix, because this is where things get really strange. You are not just a body moving through space. You are an observer, experiencing the universe from a first-person perspective. Where does that experience come from? If consciousness arises purely from physical processes in the brain, then in principle, those processes could be simulated. A sufficiently advanced computer could replicate every neuron, every signal, every interaction. If that simulation is accurate enough, the consciousness inside it would feel just as real as you do right now. From the inside, there would be no way to tell the difference. This leads to a chilling question. If you were inside a simulation, would you ever know? The answer, disturbingly, is probably no. Any evidence you gather would itself be part of the simulation. Any experiment you run would be governed by the simulated laws of physics. Even this very thought could be a line of code executing exactly as intended, but some people believe there may be cracks in the system, potential glitches in reality. Quantum mechanics, for example, is deeply weird. Particles exist in multiple states at once until they are observed. Reality seems to render itself only when measured, like a video game that only loads detailed textures when the player looks at them. This idea, sometimes jokingly called lazy rendering, fits uncomfortably well with how quantum systems behave. Then there's the apparent fine-tuning of the universe. The fundamental constants of nature appear to be precisely set to allow for complex structures, stars, planets, and life. If these values were even slightly different, the universe would be sterile. Some scientists explain this through the multiverse, suggesting countless universes exist with different settings and we just happen to be in one that supports life. But another possibility is that these values were chosen, tuned, like parameters in a simulation designed to produce interesting outcomes. Let's flip the question around for a moment. If we were capable of creating simulations with conscious beings, would we do it? Human history suggests that curiosity often wins. We already simulate ecosystems, societies, and even entire civilizations in simplified forms. Games like The Sims allow players to control virtual lives, watch them struggle, thrive, and fail. Scale that up with future technology, and it's not hard to imagine entire simulated universes created for research, entertainment, or reasons we can't yet comprehend. If even one civilization in the universe reaches that stage, it could create millions or billions of simulated realities. In that scenario, simulated minds would vastly outnumber original biological ones. And statistically, any randomly selected conscious being would almost certainly be simulated. That being could be you. Now here comes the twist. If we are in a simulation, the creators might not be watching us constantly. Or maybe they are. Or maybe the simulation runs automatically, without supervision. Or maybe it's already been abandoned, like an old server still humming in some cosmic basement, running a universe long after its creators moved on. The implications are staggering. Some people worry that if the simulators lose interest, they could simply shut it down. End of reality. No warning, no explosion. Just off. But others find comfort in the idea. If our universe is simulated, then perhaps it was created intentionally. Perhaps existence has a purpose beyond random chance, or perhaps the purpose is simply to observe what we do. And that raises a deeply personal question. If your life is part of a simulation, does it matter less? Or does it matter more? Think about it. Your experiences, your emotions, your choices feel real to you. Pain hurts, love matters, joy is joyful. Simulation or not, your subjective experience is undeniable. Even if reality is constructed, your consciousness is still experiencing it. In that sense, meaning doesn't disappear, it becomes something you create. Interestingly, some scientists have suggested experimental ways to test the simulation hypothesis, though none are definitive. For example, looking for limits in the resolution of spacetime, or unexpected patterns in cosmic radiation that might hint at underlying computational structures. Others propose searching for mathematical anomalies, like rounding errors in the fabric of reality. But so far, the universe has kept its secrets well. And maybe that's the point. A perfect simulation would leave no obvious trace of its artificial nature. Or perhaps the clues are there, hidden in plain sight, waiting for a sufficiently advanced mind to notice. There is also a philosophical escape hatch. Even if we are in a simulation, the base reality behind it must exist. And that base reality would be just as mysterious as ours. Who created it? Why does it exist? Does it run on its own deeper laws? The simulation hypothesis doesn't answer the ultimate questions. It just pushes them one level back. But maybe that's enough to change how we see ourselves. Instead of being the center of a cold, indifferent universe, we might be participants in a vast experiment, or characters in a cosmic story still unfolding. So let me ask you directly, if you discovered tomorrow with absolute certainty that we are living in a simulation, would you live your life any differently? Would you be more careful, more reckless, more compassionate, or would nothing change at all? Because at the end of the day, simulated or not, this is the only reality you experience. And that makes it real enough. If this video made you question reality, sparked your curiosity, or sent a chill down your spine, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think we're living in a simulation? Or is the universe exactly what it appears to be? Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the journey, share it with someone who loves cosmic mysteries, and subscribe to Cosmic Horizon Hub for more mind-expanding explorations of the universe, because the horizon of reality might be far stranger than we ever imagined.